Thursday night, time for the Buddy Martin Show. Gator collects the corner. It's going to be interesting because another game equally as big is around the corner, and Gator fans are both happy and getting nervous. How do they approach this? Well, we'll tell you what head ball coach says. Coming up, Ben Troop joins us, France Beard, talking ball tonight. Come and join us. Tell your friends and neighbors the Buddy Martin Show is on the air.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
Better, stronger, faster.
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
Hey, what if the voice calls while you're gone?
Take a message.
Bye.
You ready, champ?
I'm ready for this my whole life.
I'm incapable of small talk. But that's why you love me, right?
Kind of intimidating to be in the presence of so many great athletes.
Good evening and welcome to a Thursday night edition of the Buddy Martin Show Gator Collective Corner. Tonight, we'll be talking with Ben Troop in a moment. First, condolences to our friend Bob Redmond, who's under the weather, was due to be with us tonight, but all the best to you, Bob. And of course, the Iron Duke France Beard will be here, and we've got the head ball coach talking to us about what does Billy Napier, what will he do, and Steve spells it out pretty well, so stay tuned for that. I am now watching back the game. Again, it's on live right now, by the way, on the South SEC Network. This is the 2.5 times plus the seeing it live. And I'm noticing a few things that I didn't see before, which I'll tell you about. Among them is I think the defense played better than we thought. So anyway, we will talk about that, hear what Coach Spurrier's got to say. Ben Troop will be along shortly. We'll catch up with him on what's going on with his podcast, and of course the Iron Duke, who's always there and got a lot to say. Good evening to Dan Bond tonight. Dan Bond, one of the big star givers. Just so you know, we have now a new thing. We're going to be giving prizes away to the top star givers. Probably have some kind of drawing and a special prize, and people who give the most each week will get in that drawing, and we're going to come up with some unique gifts. So thank you to Dan and Sissy and all you folks out there, and Joe Blackburn, who are providing us with that service. Appreciate it very much. Good evening to Becky Smith Carlisle, who barely missed the pole position. Matt Beckham, the Yellow U. Jesse Cauldron from Nicholsville, Kentucky. Big game for you up there behind the enemy lines there, Jesse. Nat Blaylock, what's up, my man? Good to talk to the mayor of Alachua. I'll see you, hopefully, we'll see you. Gator Bait Tailgate. I guess that's what you guys are doing. He's the social chairman. Michael Burton, nice to see you, Michael. I know we were trying to reach us today. Sorry about that. Queenie Quanda Arnold is always there. Queenie, nice to see you. Jennifer Lay, she's one of the ones administering the pledge. And by the way, I think she'll be there too, but this weekend, up in the stands, Marsha Meadows will be there, and she'll be giving you a chance to take the pledge. Now, we'll catch up to you on what you have to do after that, but for the moment, you need to get lined up with the pledge. Josh Weekly. Hello, Josh. Terry Johnson, good to see you back, buddy. Robert Turner. Phil Burney. Any kid by any chance to, Amari's brother? Yeah. Sorry about that phone. Let's see, Gene McLean, let's see, Matthew Castelvecchi, I've not seen that name, Matthew Welcome, Dan Bond, Kentucky 6-year linebacker cleared for Saturday, Jordan Wright, thanks for that information. Yeah, good, Jennifer, glad to know, Alexander Perez, anyway, that's what's going on. So we're going to go right to our sponsor, the good people that who sponsored us for quite some time, Meldon Law, and let Jeffrey talk about a good cause that he and his wife were involved in.
A breaking story, okay?
All right.
So this year, my wife Patricia and I are chair people for the Alzheimer's Association. And Meldon Law was founded in 1971. So for every free throw made this year by both the men's basketball team and women's basketball team, Meldon Law is donating $19.71 to the Alzheimer's Foundation.
Nice. What's the 1971? When you started the law firm?
Yes.
Very good. That's a great story and a great idea. And it couldn't be for a better cause, because we know how devastating that disease is to a lot of people and families. Congratulations. I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you, buddy.
Meldon Law, he does a lot of nice things. Where you matter most.
I know.
Meldon Law. All right, good job there, Jeffrey. We'll have some fresh information on free tickets next week. You can get them at their Facebook page, Meldon Law. You get in rather easily if you're planning to go. You'll check that out. James Reed, Dakota Emily, Kevin Zielinski, Jerry Frazier, Cindy Neesmith, and Tommy Gunn Seal has a good point I want to bring up here. It is not a sports topic, but R.I.P. to Queen Elizabeth. Yeah, and I got a note on that. Somebody sent me this. Queen Elizabeth II was 13 years old when Texas A&M won their last football national championship. I don't know how you get those two things together, but we get the point. Yeah, really, Queen was a special person. All right, so let me get a couple of things. By the way, I want to be sure to remind you, because I'm under contract to say this, if I don't, that we really want you to support GatorBait. GatorBait drives this whole thing. Brendan Martin, the president of this company, and I'm told there were, by my webmaster, we've had a few problems tonight with people logging on. I don't know. I haven't been on this since. Well, I've been on it all day, filing my column, which is up right now, along with several stories. But apparently there's some login issue. We're on it, and Chad is on it, and Brendan. And I find out what it is. It's technology. I'm sorry, I can't do it. So, all right. So that's what's happened there. Back to the game. Boy, every time I see it, it looks better. It looks better. What I liked about the defense was they're quick to the ball, including our friend's cousin, Mr. Barney. He says he's cousins with Amari, who made the big play. So I went back a lot, watched it. This is going on my third time, and I'll watch the second half later. They played better than I thought. I mean, as I said, quick to the ball. They got playmakers. Ventrell Miller was awesome. Trey Dean had a career high tackles. Jason Marshall, Amari Burney, in addition to the fact that he made that big pick, he also played a good game. Tackling was excellent. Very few, if any, missed tackles. It's true the defense gave up 446 yards, but Florida got 451. So that's going on. Let's see. Florida averaged rushing for 10 yards a carry with AR-15 getting 106. So now, what's Kentucky going to do? Ben says he didn't have the link, even though I sent it to him. We'll try to find it. What's Kentucky? What would be a shock? Would it be that somehow through this whole mysterious thing that's going on with Kentucky and these suspensions, or whatever you want to call them, would be, what if he showed up? Now, the way this thing sounds, it's not the football suspension. It's a suspension by the school. Anyway, so we'll get to that in a minute. But let me get this link to Ben. He'll join us momentarily. Ben is not doing his show anymore, by the way. He's doing 84 Reasons podcast. So we'll get to that in just a second. So, but anyway, I think, and I was talking to a friend of mine who was sitting in the stands, and we had several people that we knew, and he's been going there for over 30 years, and he's seen some great moments in the swamp. He said, I don't know how you gauge the noise, but I can tell you this much. He said it was constant. was loud. It wasn't just like, oh, explosion like it was for FSU back then or whatever. There was a high-pitched volume for quite some time. And I happened to notice when I was watching TV, they Feinbaum. I didn't know the game was going to be on, and I was in the other room. I heard this loud noise. It's a loud event going on someplace in there. And then there was the Gator game. And it was, in fact, very loud and sustained loudness. So we can talk about that night for a long. By the way, did you see a couple of those listings that came out? One of them was rating the student bodies, and how the student section. This particular one had Florida #1, and so yeah, good stuff. The stars were, aligned right, and there was plenty of stars on the field, and what a night. Let's go to our. It's going to be an orange and blue room soon. Here's my orange and blue broadcast partner. We do on Sunday morning, somewhere around 9:30. If you haven't seen it, you ought to, because we had a big crowd last week. And that would be Mr. Ben Troop. What's up, Troopster?
What's going on, buddy? How's everything?
Well, on the athletic front, very good. I got to be honest. I got a little pepping myself with this game on Saturday, and I haven't had that for Kentucky in quite some time. So, I was just saying, Ben, I don't know how many times you watched the tape back, as they say. I'm watching it. I'm on my third time now, plus seeing it live, and I'm looking for little details. Like I saw some things like I didn't see Richardson with the baton the first time. Didn't see it when I was there, but I saw it later. The so-called salute to the band they get involved. I didn't see Amari. I didn't see Diabate hurling on the sideline. Of all people to let that stuff get him, the guy who played here. And now watching the defense, I'm gonna tell you. In addition to Ventrell Miller, who played his butt off, really played great. There were some other guys. I think Brent Cox had his career high in tackles. And what I noticed about them was they were quick to the ball. Maybe they didn't dominate up front like people say, but they were quick to the ball and they had crisp tackling. So that's what I thought. What do you think?
I thought they played incredible because it's the first game. I think sometimes we forget the fact that it's the first time, the first opponent, a legitimate opponent, a formidable opponent, number 7 team in the country, a guy in Cam Rising that he can hurt you with his legs. Obviously, Kincaid and the tight end had a really, really good game. But what I liked about the defense was to get a goal line stand is something you might not see for 2 or 3 seasons. They had 2 of them. Mm-hmm. They had 2 goal line stands. One going to the south end zone, and the other one to win the game. When Amari Burney called game, I think sometimes, but every single drive, every single play, we can find something to nitpick. And I'm not saying I do agree with Coach Napier saying, look, it wasn't the most crisp game on both sides of the ball, but it's almost like they were mirrors of each other. The same thing that Utah wanted to do on offense. That's what Florida did. They both want to run the football. They want to try to throw the ball on second down. A lot of improvising, but Amari Burney might not make that play again in his life, right? He might not make it, but I think what happened with Utah is they didn't trust the run when they was going for the win. They want to put the ball in their quarterback hands. Yeah. They want to go down there and win it. I'm not saying that's a bad game plan. You look at what Cam Rising was doing all game. But I think when you think about the defense, it's extremely hot. The starters played, 60-something snaps. That's a lot of football for your starters. But I do agree with something you said, buddy. Ventrell Miller, oh, my God, he was everywhere. And I know everybody want to make it about Amari, and thank God Amari did get the pick. Ventrell almost called game a couple of plays before that. He almost picked it off, and probably would have hit his head on the goalpost. But you see the difference a year makes when you can just get lined up. Like, just get lined up, play football. And I know everybody was saying, the tight ends are tight ends. Listen, a tight end can't hurt you unless they're scoring touchdowns in the quarters that matter. KK had an incredible game. I'm not taking him. He had an incredible game individually. It wasn't enough to beat the team, but I was very impressed with this, buddy. We got 2 goal line stands and we had 2 fourth down conversions. Most coaches ain't going for it on fourth down. I don't care if it's first game, second game, home field advantage.
Mm-hmm.
It showed nothing screams
Spurrier.
Nothing screams trust in a player more
Yeah.
than third down, you getting ready to run off the field and coach says, wait, we're gonna go. That's trust. And I get it, buddy. First game,
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to ride the momentum. You look like a hero if you get it right. You look like, you look like the scapegoat if you get it wrong. But I think the thing about Billy Napier is this. I said this last week. They are going to run the football. 283 yards rushing. But and it shows how you kind of get to dictate terms. Osiris Torrance, y'all might want to go watch that tape. He put on a clinic. Now I know that Montreal Johnson had the he had the opening drive fumble. But what I can appreciate about, I don't know if it was Anthony Richardson or the OC or maybe even Billy Knapp, they kept going back to him. They said, look, we're not gonna get away from you. I like what I saw in E10. I like what I saw in the running game. I think Pearsall is gonna be good. But it was the number 7 team in the country who certain people have at a college football dark horse. So shout out to the Utes. They played it to the end, but I like all phases of it. I think the passing game was only gonna get better. But what can you say about Anthony Richardson? The young man is phenomenal, and I don't expect him to have to be that every single game. But for one night, he put on a show.
I agree with everything you said. I think it's important to point out that they now went back to Montreal. I mean, think about this. 2 things that happened. One of them is that on 4th and 2 in the first drive at Utah 16, when they're down by 7, I'm in the press box saying, better kick it. I mean, I thought they may not get down here again soon. Mm-hmm. Well, what did he do? Timeout. Scared money don't make money. He had his first shot. He took it, called a beautiful play, and Montreal was in the flats, and Anthony hit him.
I think he got in. I think he got in.
Looked like it, yeah. But they are ran it in the next play. So that showed a lot of, what can I say, balls, whatever, and to me, and I like that, right? I mean, his first big moment right there. That was it.
That's the thing about football. Billy Napier is not reinventing anything. But when people go, hey man, what does the running game do for your team? Do you see how wide? This is the thing. Anthony Richardson was just a shot, because if you look at the route, it's a one-man route. Montreal, all he did, he had like he was going to the left, like he was going to run to the left, and he just bubbled back out to the right. Yeah. And obviously play action and everything was to the left.
Right.
And Montreal was so wide open. That's what, because when he caught it, buddy, he was like, "Good Lord, ain't nobody out here."
Yeah.
And the hardest throw in life, I know people don't believe this. The hardest throw in life
is wide open.
It's just a little. Just get it to him. Don't rush it.
Yeah.
And I was very, very impressed with the run game. I really was, because I'm like, dude, if we gonna be running, no. When we continue to run the football like that, I know I'm looking at the comments. Are the tight ends gonna get more involved? I hope so. Yeah. But I know this. You got to earn it. I was impressed with Xavier Henderson. Obviously, Pearsall is gonna be the lead guy. I want to see if Justin Shorter and company Whittemore can go. But I will
Whittemore wasn't targeted once. I don't think.
Yeah, and I think what happens is too, buddy. Practice is just a barometer of what we hope to see in the game. Mm-hmm. But guys are getting one-on-ones. Like when the run game is the way it is, guys are going to be getting one-on-ones, and I like the fact that they're giving, they're letting Anthony Richardson kind of get outside the pocket, utilize his athletic, because he scares people to death. He's going to draw up the defense when they see him running. Mm-hmm. But it was a great game plan. I think I'm interested to see if Lingard can get into the,
he's back this week. Someone's asking about that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes an offense deadly is when you got a lot of guys game plan for. When I got fresh backs, Naquan.
Fourth quarter.
Montreal, and Etienne, and hopefully Lingard. Mm-hmm. Because our offensive line, look, oh my God, they put on a show, but I'll take the win. At the end of the day, the Utah Utes are going to beat most teams they play. They're going to beat most teams they stand in front of. That was a good football team, was probably still got a shot to win the Pac-12. Shout out to them Gators getting it done. That atmosphere, though, buddy, was electric.
Magical.
Almost 91,000.
Magical. Yeah.
That's
Magical.
crazy.
I thought one fan had a good comment. They had 90,799.
Yeah.
And he said, couldn't they have found one fan?
Listen, listen, the game was so late, he had to work in the morning. He like, look, man, I love y'all.
Right.
I gotta get home.
That's right. Well, Travis Etienne sure blasted on the scene. Man, he came in, and next thing you know, first carry, boom. He's fast. He's got a quick first step. That guy is something. And his brother spoke today. I'm sorry, Trevor, I meant. Travis said that he didn't think Trevor would ever be a running back. He said he was a fat kid. I never thought he'd play running back with the Gators. But and of course, when Etienne fumbled the ball, which was a killer, at that point, and yet he fell on it just the right way.
Yes.
I've got a bite from Coach Spurrier. I'm gonna play in a minute before we go to the bottom of the hour, and it's kind of lengthy, like 6 minutes or so, but it's good because he talks about that he fell on the ball in a proper way. Coach Spurrier said, you fall on it with your hands. That's how you recover a fumble. And he said he knew what to do with the ball when he got it, which was cool. That was Travis said he almost freaked out when his brother fumbled. So a little of that going on. So, there's a couple of things I want to talk about real quick. Gators have listen to this. Here's a stat for you. Gators have a 26.11 average margin over Kentucky when wearing blue since 1990. How about that? Florida wearing the blue. So, let me say, I wanted to say that, let me get this up here a second. How about this bandwagon mentality for Anthony? I don't know what you've been hearing, but a lot of people jumping on it now. You know me, I've been calling those guys out now all year. What do you mean is 6 quarterbacks better than him in the SEC alone? What do you mean that I can't make your top 10? I'm thinking, are my eyes deceiving me, Ben, or what? What I see is this guy is a major talent. Like I said, I'm not bragging. I saw Cam Newton playing in Florida. He was terrific. He never was this good this early as this guy is. So Richardson, who, by the way, got the Davey O'Brien Award, National Quarterback of the Week, which is a nice honor. But people are getting nervous about too many honors being. They don't want to be too high. They want to be, they're nervous Nellies, aren't they?
Yeah, they should be. But Anthony Richardson, he's been in Florida long enough to understand there's nothing you can do about narrative. The one thing that we do the most in sports is the one thing I hate the most, and that's comparison. Anthony Richardson does not look like Cam Newton because Cam Newton went undefeated, won the Heisman, was number 1 overall pick. No. Now, do they look similar in build? Yeah. I mean, that's like saying 2 guys at 6'5" look alike. No, they're the same height. They don't look alike. And the hardest thing to do, buddy, as you know, is to create your own identity. He plays quarterback for Florida and he wears number 15. If that ain't enough pressure right there, and mind you, Anthony Richardson, humble kid, just want to be one of the guys, phenomenal talent. But I do agree with you, buddy. When you talk about ability, just straight ability, you're not gonna find many people on the planet more gifted than him. I don't care who it is. I just think for Anthony Richardson, when Anthony Richardson slid on Saturday night, that's him understanding. Hey, man,
got just enough.
That's him understand. Now, what he did, that long touchdown run on the left side of the field, it ain't too many people in the world that can do that.
Made it look easy.
And the thing was, this one really makes him good. Most quarterbacks, when they do that, it's so much field, they're gonna take it to the center of the field and kind of go back to where all the defenders are. When he was running at that DB, that DB light flashed before his eyes. He was like, "Oh my God, here he is coming right at me," and he still gave himself enough room on the sideline to make a move.
That guy had no chance.
That's football awareness.
He set him up. He set him up perfectly.
And he improvised. He didn't just tuck it and run. He improvised. The play broke down, and you see what he's able to do. But
and then he stiff armed and jumped, Ben.
It was. If I'm that DB's coach, that DB come to the sideline, like, look, man, I ain't mad at you, man. That's the best you can do, right? But I will say, Anthony Richardson, the better the run game is with the running backs, the less plays you got to call for him to run, the more it's going to open up for the passing game.
Yeah.
Because you see these stat lines though, people get so caught up in the 300, 400 yards passing. No, man, 200 to 250 yards. No interceptions. No turnovers. Because Florida didn't win the time of possession, right? We lost a fumble, but we also got a pick. Right. We had two goal line stands and 2 fourth down conversions.
Right.
You're gonna win a lot of games like that. And obviously we ran the ball better. So one game, for a sample size, because the first game, I was very, very impressed. And even what you said about Brenton Cox. A lot of people kept saying, is it just a pass rusher? Is it just a pass rusher? Nope. He had to play big boy. This was big boy.
Drop back in coverage.
Big boy smash my football on Saturday night.
Yeah.
If you didn't bring your hard hat, stay on the sideline. But I was very impressed. Very impressed.
Just to clarify one point, when I said Cam Newton, I'm not talking about what Cam Newton became. I'm talking about Cam Newton as a freshman and sophomore at Florida, where I watched him play. And I can tell you, my eyes didn't lie to me. Obviously, he was a star, but I'm telling you, Anthony Richardson is better than he was at that stage. I don't even know what this guy gets better.
Anthony Richardson got it. He. I mean, buddy, it's like this. Look around college football. You know what you see in less of? Straight pocket passes. They can do it, but they want a guy that just look around college. You've seen it everywhere. I mean, from Arkansas, right? Alabama, Georgia, LSU, because what happens is, hey man, what you make now I'm not saying Anthony Richardson got a cannon in his arm. This kid, Lord have mercy, he got a cannon. But I think what it is when people say, hey man, one of the best passes we've ever seen in football, Aaron Rodgers. You know what he's the best at? Throwing the ball outside. When he's on the run, he's just as good as sitting in the pocket. So that's what they want. I mean, and like I said, for one night, it was electric. I mean, so many former Gators, future Gators, current Gators. Yeah. I know we got them Wildcats coming to town, but Utah, you guys were gracious in defeat. I know we got to come up there next year, but hey, sorry y'all got delayed in Gainesville Airport. It happens, you know. But great game.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this now. Go get you a cold drink or some kind, but you want to hear this from Spurrier,
okay?
Because he addresses some of those issues. And you know, the play he thought was most impressive by Anthony Richardson is not one you're going to think. And it was maybe his so-called Heisman moment. Here's Coach Spurrier talking about, second part of the interview, what are these Gators going to do? Is it bad? Are they all going to get too pumped up? How will Billy Napier play it? Which poll did you like the best when you were coaching?
Buddy, we didn't pay a lot of attention to them until the season was over, and one of our goals every year was to finish in the top 10. So if we lost a game here or there that was sort of heartbreaking for most of us, we come back and regroup and said, hey, one of our goals is finish in the top 10. If we win the bowl game, we will most likely be in the top 10. So, FSU was very good back in the 90s. In fact, they were the second winningest program in the nation after Nebraska. And they beat us a little bit more than we beat them overall. So we had to sort of regroup and get ready for that bowl game or the SEC championship game. One guy gave us a good compliment one time. He said, Florida has proven that they can win the SEC championship, and it doesn't matter if they win, lose, or tie against FSU. And that's what happened those 3 years in a row. We had a win, a loss, and a tie, and we won the SEC championship. I think it's 94, 95, 96.
As a coach, if you're Billy Napier, how worried are you that you rank too high too fast, and how it will impact Saturday's game against Kentucky?
Oh, I don't think they'll make a big deal on where they're ranked. I think they'll just talk a little bit about, okay, that one's history now. And he'll show them all the different plays in there that, this is why we're a winner, this play or this play. If we don't make this play, we're a loser. And before the season starts, almost all coaches nowadays, they don't harp on one game. They soon, I think 24 hours after that game's over, they do a little celebrating, of course.
Yep.
And I think they had a team dinner for the guys Sunday night, something like that. And then they move on. And Billy's smart enough to move on. And this one's behind us. And I don't know who said it, but I know I used to say it, the most important game of your life is the one coming up next.
Yeah, for sure.
And when it's over, it becomes one of the least important, unless maybe it was for a championship or a big win. But the most important is always the next one.
Yeah. And the final question for Steve Spurrier. Before I talk about your beer, I want to bring that up because I'm going to have some on the show. What else did you see, by all estimations, your former quarterback Shane Matthews, so he loved the game plan that Billy called for Anthony. The running game was there, the big playability of the defense. We talked about the 2-point conversion, which I think was, if there was a Heisman moment, that was it to me. I hate to use that phrase, but it is what it is. So was there something else about that game, the coaching staff, a player or a play that stuck out to you?
Well, there was so many, obviously, and I think our fans, everybody learned about Montrell and ETN, the two running backs.
Yeah.
These guys are good. They're fast, they're quick, they can cut, they can go with it. And remember ETN getting on his own fumble? If he doesn't get that ball, buddy, we're losers. I think they run out the clock. There was, about a minute 45 or something left right there. So that was a wonderful fumble recovery. And the FSU kid that fumbled on the 1-yard line, he had a chance to recover his own little fumble. And he went in there and sort of swatted around at it. But there's a fundamentally right way to recover fumbles. And
what is that, Steve? How do you do that?
You get your hands on it. You got to get your hands on it. You don't just dive at it and make a swoop. You get your hands on it. You got to possess it. So you watch every little bounce, get your hands on it, and tuck it as fast as you can with two hands and cradle up. And that's what ETN did. He got his hands on it because that other guy was right there also coming for that loose ball. It's interesting how little things like that the fans don't think about it. But if we don't get that fumble, he doesn't get that fumble back. I think we'd been losers.
Absolutely. Instead of winner, much like the things are happening at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Things are going well there, and I wanted to talk about your beer. I had some of it when I was there for the restaurant. I'm going to get some more tonight. HBC. My wife says, "What's that stand for?" I said, "Joni, how could you not know what HBC stands for? It's all over the cover of the book." Oh, okay.
The head beer coach is what it says on the can. But about a year ago, remember Paul Bowen, a walk-on receiver here?
Yeah, I remember the name. Yeah.
He came up one day and said, "We need to get a beer going," and of course got Freddie Wheatley involved. Freddie's sort of the guy that puts all these things together. And the brewery here in town, First Magnitude, I went down there and told them the kind of beers I like, and can you make a combination of these sort of three different beers? And they did the job. They put it together. And I brag on it, I guess, because it's got my name on it also. But I really like the taste of this beer. And as soon as I start buying it somewhere, I'm going to start buying it. And hopefully I go to Publix right down from where we live.
Well, that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going down there today and see if I can find it.
Yeah, it's going to be a year or so before it comes in the supermarkets.
Yeah. Congratulations. And by the way, it was great to see you and Jerry last weekend up in the press room and having a chance to chat. It's great to see the Spurriers doing so well and the Gators doing so well, Steve. It's happy times again for the Gator
Well, it's
Nation.
only one game, and the fans need to always remember that. But, once you win, buddy, the next one becomes bigger. So this Kentucky game is really big. And we were at the restaurant the other night, and I do a little podcast with Steve Russell.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about that Florida-Kentucky game of 1991. I'm sure you remember that. We had a chance to win our first official. We won it the year before, but they said you can't claim it because of some BS.
Right.
But anyway, and we were the only team, the last team in the SEC to win the SEC championship on your home field. Because after that, it went to the championship game the next year. And we had Kentucky 28-7. They came in 0-6 in conference play. We're 6-0. Got a chance to be undefeated, first time ever in SEC play. And somehow or another, our defensive guys, or we had a turnover. I think they blocked a punt. And all of a sudden, we look up. It's 28-26, and there's 7 minutes left. And I got the offensive guys, and I said, "Man, we better put a drive together." So we go out there. We're only up 2. There's all kind of time, and I think Esham, they call it hands to the face. We had a run play. He has hands to the face. So now we got 1st and 25 on our own 10-yard line, up 2 points, trying to win our first ever official and all this kind of stuff. And Shane hit 3 straight passes, hit one here, hit one there. We had 3rd and 6, and Eric Rett went out on what we call the bopper play, back option. So we shortened it to bopper, so he could audible to it if he wanted to. So we had the blue slide bopper on. So he goes out, and the linebacker, he was in between. He was back a little bit, but he wasn't right up on him playing man-to-man. And Eric later said, "I didn't know where to go, right, left, or turn around, Coach. But something just told me turn around." And Shane had a guy coming at him. They had a line stun on that was pretty good against our protection. So here's a dude running right at Shane, and Shane said, "Coach, I had to throw it or eat it, and I had to hope he would turn around." So Eric turns. He did turn around. The ball hit him right in the numbers, and he got his pads down and was able to carry that guy for about 2 yards and make the first down. And after that, we ran it all the way down to the 2-yard line. Eric took it in for the touchdown. And, heck, they were firing at our end zone. They had about a minute left, but we had a 9-point lead. But that one play, Shane to Eric Redd on the bopper play, oh, man, I'd hate to think what would have happened if Eric would have took a left or a right. Shane would hit that linebacker right in the numbers. But
well, there you go. That's how close it is and how things go right. And I love that. We're going to bring Franz over here. We wake up Ben and bring Franz over. I just want to get that in from the head ball coach because I thought it was pretty good seeing how you handle that. We'll say good evening to Franz as well. And how are you, Francis?
Another day in paradise. I got my boat out, ready to row over to the stadium on Saturday.
Yeah.
We have rain coming and coming and coming and coming some more, and just
I guess we'll be in for it Saturday night. Yeah. Good.
I hope it stops Saturday afternoon and we can have a nice dry football field.
That'd be nice. Hey, that one play. This is one I think Billy should put in. If you heard that Spurrier interview, the blue slide bopper. Now that's a play I could get behind. You ever hear that, Ben? Blue slide bopper.
Man, I heard a bunch of steamers, and I mean, Coach Spurrier playbook wasn't the hardest to. It wasn't like super duper wordy. You know how like these coaches now want to see how many, all these little crazy little words they want to put together. Coach Spurrier was simple, man, and I think when he sees the game, he sees it simply to be able to say, look. I mean, listen, when you got Jaquez, Riedel, and Ike, and Chris Doring, and Travis McGriff, and Willie Jackson, bruh, and Eric Rett, and Fred Taylor, just throw the ball and run the ball. I think, but I do agree with something Coach Spurrier was saying, friends, and our buddy. He was just saying the fact that, like, when Coach Spurrier says things like, don't get too high and too low, it's one win. Because he know the season is, every week is a total different season. They love you. They love you when you win, but and I mean this respectfully. Billy Napier is not going to really understand what Gator Nation is until it gets rocky. When it gets rocky, he gonna see because we are our own best and worst enemies, but we won. And like I said, that game was down to the wire. I do like games that's kind of over with 4 or 5 minutes left. We don't play that type of football yet, friends. We want to, we still breathing with 3 minutes left. I'm like, oh my God. But I will say this, and I don't like when people say this, oh, a Dan Mullen team would have lost. Would they? You really don't know that because last time I checked, Florida has the longest win streak for the home openers in college football. But we beat them. It was a good game. It was a real similar game plan. And like I said, it's much. What did Bill Parcells say? Your wives are prettier. The food tastes better. The drinks are colder when you win. Everything is better when you win. Because if you lose, I don't want to talk to anybody. My phone don't work. Don't text me. But now we got them. Now we got them cats from Lexington coming into town, and I know that I know they ready.
So friends, I know you're feeling pretty good about this team, but given that we don't really know what squad will show up, we're presuming that Kentucky won't suddenly find their running back, Rodriguez, and say, okay, he's eligible and pop him on the field. I don't know. Could happen. But given, I guess the way to look at it, friends and Ben, is the line. See if it's shifting or whatever, because that will tell us the deal. But it looks like clearly now that at home, Florida's a better team. And friends, I'm sure you feel that way.
Florida's always been a better team at home. Even last year when the Gators weren't all that good. I mean, let's face it, Alabama was lucky to leave here with its hide intact. Florida is always good at home, always going to be good at home. This is a good football team, though. And the reason they're a good football team is because they have a process for taking care of and hiding some of their deficiencies. And you can do that when you can take 6:02 left in the game and you can run 14 plays. 11 of them are run plays. One of them is an improvisation on fourth down, in which, by the way, Montrell Johnson, if you watch him, he is on the right side of Anthony Richardson. He goes all the way across the line and picks off the blitzer. One of the best blitz pickups I've seen since a guy named Terry Jackson was back there. Terry Jackson, I think, and Eric Rett were probably the two best I've seen Gators picking up the blitz as I've seen.
Right.
And this was an NFL blitz pickup by Montrell
I saw
Johnson.
that was a good play. Yes, it was.
And when you can do that, and everybody in the whole yard, including Utah, Morgan Scully, who is their defensive coordinator, who's a brilliant guy, was a two-time All-American playing for Urban, a brilliant guy. He knew that the Gators were going to run. Everybody in the whole ball yard knew the Gators were going to run, and the Gators ran, and they gained. And here's the thing that people don't get sometimes about running plays. You go 2 yards here, 2 yards here, 3 yards there, and now it's all of a sudden third and 3, and your quarterback gets the 3 yards. Then you pop one, all of a sudden, boom, it's 19 yards.
Right.
That's the thing about running plays is that you pound away, and sooner or later you get it done.
Yeah, well, we saw that.
They've got a great offensive line. They have an All-American at right guard named Osiris Torrance, and there are people doing hard time in Rayford and Reedsville prisons for a lot less than what he did to whoever was across from him Saturday. He brutalized people. I mean, that was if the guy was younger than him, they call it child abuse because
it was child abuse anyway. It was. I kept saying that before you came on. I said we get caught up looking at the quarterbacks, the running backs, the specialists. If Osiris Torrance, he is a road grader, man. It's like and mind you, Utah got D tackles that are built to stop. Utah was good at stopping the run until Saturday night. They could not stop it, and Osiris was like, "Just run behind me, man." I mean, it was 4 quarters. It was ugly. I don't know who that D tackle is, but he gon' that's not gonna be on the highlight tape.
Yeah.
So whenever he decides to go pro, don't watch that tape.
Which of
the
four?
Here's the thing that they can do. When you got an O-line like that, you can take time off the clock. Now, here's the thing. We knew the defense wasn't stopping that offense. Like that, a dual threat, that's the thing that's going to worry us about when we play Tennessee, which can run the ball and has a dual threat quarterback. Teams like that are going to give the Gators trouble. But I can tell you right now, one-dimensional teams aren't going to do it. But that Florida knew that, okay, we're going to have a difficult time stopping that Utah offense. So what do? They play defense with the offense, and it really, really works.
Yeah, it takes a little rest they need, which they need really, and especially keeping up with Anthony Richardson who's running around. Now they got Lorenzo Lingard. He's the fourth running back. Which one of those running backs would you pick today if you had to start? Now, obviously, Naquan Wright has a starting position, but Trevor Etienne is a beast, man. What we know, but we just talked about Montreal. All of a sudden, they're talent rich at the running back position, and they can run the football. Now that changes things a lot, and it gives them an arsenal. And by the way, I said this earlier with Ben. I'm going to bring it up again. Everybody I've been on with all week long has said, well, the front seven in Florida didn't play that well. Now you got to get better. I'm watching this game for the third time, all right? And I'm looking really close for the nuances. I'm telling you, I saw some defensive players out there who were giving it all, who tackled crisply, who were in the right position. I know there was an issue about somebody not lining up online or whatever. And yeah, it wasn't polished, and I would like to see the blitz package a little bit more effective, but I know that Tony, he's conservative on those things, and I understand why. But I'm telling you, when you see these defensive backs, I mean, Amari Burney, yeah, he had a big play, but how about Brenton Cox? He had one of the games of his life, and there's a couple of guys in there that really, really, I think, so they got some talent on defense. Maybe not the bulk, not big 300-pound guys. Dez is about the biggest one they got, but I think their defense is going to come along. They just got to be big enough, right, and quick enough, and have instincts, and they're taught by their coaches, Tony particularly, how to get the ball back, right? How to do takeaways, something they have not been good at for the last 3 or 4 years. If they can cut down the mistakes, which they really did, and start taking the ball away, I don't know, boys.
Let me tell you something very interesting. There's a very interesting screenshot that's out there that shows 4th and 1, that goal line stand. Brenton Cox is in there. Ventrell Miller is in there. And let's see, who was the other guy? Oh, DeJuan Black was in there. Everybody else was either a freshman or a sophomore.
Right. I called their names out this week earlier. I had the names up and called them out. They're kids.
Eight kids in the game. Mm-hmm. Now, when you got 8 kids in the game and it's 4th and 1 like that, that tells me you got talent. It tells me, now, maybe these guys need some seasoning. I agree with that. Ben, you've been around. You know one thing. There is nothing that takes the place of experience. It's great to have talent, but by golly, if you don't have experience in there, you're going to get run over, maimed, and mugged, kind of like that guy facing across from Osiris Torrance the other night.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Franz. The situation dictates the player, not the other way around. And I remember that when you see DeJuan, when you see Brenton Cox, when you see Ventrell, and the thing is, right, in practice, when they do that kind of stuff in practice, they'll say, yeah, but y'all only doing this because we running a simulation of what can happen in the game. No, a goal line stand, that might be the hardest play to make for any defense. I don't care. And they did it with a bunch of second string guys that say, hey, when we tell you guys to prepare like starters, that's what we mean, because you're going to get starter reps. You're not going to be the first guy to run out there. And the one thing going into the game, everybody kept saying is, what is our depth? What is our depth? What is our depth? When we make the first goal line stand, that's depth right there. Those are guys that are going to be called in to have some quality snaps. And I think that when you look at this team, they call 2 fourth-down plays on offense, which doesn't happen. I don't care who the coach is. They ain't calling. Sean McVay ain't calling a 4th down, and he got Cooper Kupp, freaking Matthew Stafford. But you converted 2 4th downs, and you had 2 goal line stands. You're going to win a lot of football games like that because it builds the confidence in the players, and those almost sacks will become sacks. Those blitzes that the guys ain't getting there, they'll get there because now they see what it takes. That in-game experience, all that talking, all that want to look good before the game. No, dude, can you play? Because now y'all kind of see if you didn't get in against Utah, you might have a chance to get in against Kentucky. But yeah, that was impressive. That goal line stand, a bunch of second string guys, because that's the kind of stuff. Because you're gonna need those guys down the stretch. Because unfortunately, injuries happen. You hope it don't happen to somebody important. But guys got to know, man. Hey, listen, ain't no more looking cute. Ain't no more looking up in the stands. Get your behind out there. Let's play ball, because now the rubber has officially met the road.
It's good points, and I want to point out that first goal line stand, they had to stop him twice because they threw an incomplete pass, and then they said, Utah had timeout. Now they go back and stop him before another time, which they did. Which I thought they played really well. And France, did you think they played as good as you thought they would, or did you expect better on defense?
I thought the defense played very well, in spite of the fact. And take a look at this. The quarterback, Cameron Rising, very, very good guy, got 91 yards rushing. You take away his 91 yards, and suddenly their running doesn't look quite so good. You could say the same thing, of course, about Anthony
Richardson, yeah.
But the thing about it is, the mobility of their quarterback is what kept them in the ball game. That was their whole secret. That last drive that leads up to the interception by Bernie, Cameron Rising makes a 19-yard scramble.
Yeah,
and
he's deadly.
He spent the whole day with guys this far away from getting him, and he was slithery. He must have had some of Gaylord Perry's slippery elm all over him because nobody could catch him. And he's a very, very good quarterback. I dare say that he may end up being the best quarterback the Gators will see all year. I know a lot of people say Hendon Hooker's really good. This kid, Will Levis, who they're going to see Saturday night's a good quarterback. Stetson Bennett, obviously a good quarterback too. But I'm not so sure that we'll see another quarterback that's better than Cameron Rising.
Yeah, he's all packed.
Really
in terms of
really
using his feet and everything, he's tough, and he killed that blitz. You blitz him, they're going to get burnt. Hey guys, let me just say to you: are you getting hungry? You ready for something good? Let me show you something. The farmer speaks out. I just want to show you something. This is in my office, and this is how it looks. It's even better looking now. This is the tower that I'm using. My daughter Laurie set it up for me. Look at those greens. There's all healthy stuff right there, and you can pop them on your sandwich or put them in in whatever. So I've got this, and now if people want to know more about it, you can look up buddytowers.com. They have some kind of special or something. I think of $50 off, whatever. Bottom line is, when you do that, you can have right in your hands enough food, enough stuff to make something like this. And this is what makes me hungry when I see it. In fact, tonight I was going to make one of these, and I ran into look at that, dudes. Huh? Making you hungry? That is good stuff. Yeah. So if you want to know more about it, buddytowers.com. All right, now I got that out of the way. Now you guys go back and pick it up. Let's have a spirited discussion about Kentucky and what's going to happen here in the end. 30? Let's see what's the number. I wrote it down today. Is they won 30 the last 32, 20 the last 21. Anyway, they've owned Kentucky. All right.
We've won every game except 2 since 1986.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe I'm missing it, and they're a pretty good team, but he's not coming to play Dan Mullen in this game. And I don't know. I haven't seen Kentucky play very much. I know they've got good players, but they're missing some guys, and I know they think they can throw on Florida. We'll see about that. I think the game is going to be. I got it picked 38-31 Florida. What do you guys think?
I think it's going to be a good one. I think there are certain teams that just play teams well. Like Florida plays Alabama really well every time they play them. Kentucky seems to play Florida well every time they play them. It usually comes down to the fourth quarter. I know we go all the way back to the Del Rio days to where they got 10 guys on fourth down, 10 guys on fourth and goal, and you end up winning the game. You look at Kyle Trask became Kyle Trask because Felipe Franks he gets hurt. and the rest is history with that. They beat Kentucky last year if they could just make a couple of tackles on defense. So I know that Will Levis is getting out of the pub. I don't know if Rodriguez is going to play. I know they got their linebacker. He's going to play. But this is going to be one of those games to where you can't – Will Levis will stand in the pocket and he will stare down receivers. You got to find a way to get some turnovers. But run the football. Like, run the football the way you did on Saturday. And I think if you Anthony Richardson, obviously you got to take care of yourself. But Mark Stoops, he does an incredible job of what he's doing for Kentucky. But I think Florida gets the win. 31-21. I do think Florida's going to score, but you can force some turnovers by Will Levis. You can run the football on offense. You can make special teams more of a factor. I see this being a game that Florida definitely can win.
I got a feeling France is going to have a bigger score. I kind of got a feeling. That's my prediction on France.
I think Florida's going to win the ball game by at least a touchdown. And the reason by the way, the point spread has moved 3 points this week toward Florida. Florida's now a 6.5 point favorite. It started out the week 3.5. It's now 6.5. And I think it'll probably go another point, particularly because people have been waiting to see if Chris Rodriguez is going to play. I'm told there's no way on the planet he is going to play because Mark Stoops is not willing to take the heat for all of a sudden you got a guy that you suspended allegedly for multiple games for a DUI, and then all of a sudden you don't play him against a nobody like Miami of Ohio, and then all of a sudden the next week you got to play the Gators. So all of a sudden the suspension's up. I'll never forget who was it that was the coach. I guess it was Mark Richt who suspended his guy for 5 games, but he made sure that they were one of them was against a convent, the other one was against a homeless shelter, and so forth like that. He made sure that the guy got, for all the games that he was suspended, they were suspended for games that Georgia could have won with their Scrabinis and their scout team playing.
Yeah. All right.
Mark Stoops can't. Mark Stoops is not. I don't think Mark Stoops can get out there and play Chris Rodriguez in this ball game. I just can't. I don't think that he would be willing to take the heat for that because he's trying to build a program that's based on integrity, and integrity says you don't play the guy like that. Just don't. I think Florida wins it by a touchdown.
Right. Give me a score.
I think Florida scores. I think Florida's going to score. Say 28, 27, 27-20, something like that. 24-17. But Florida's going to win the ball game.
Yeah. All right. Now, final question for both of you here, and that is the trajectory of this team now has totally changed. If you do the numbers and you look at the projections and the 7.5 in Vegas now, this team, if they beat Kentucky, all of a sudden 9-10 wins look possible. And I'm conceding Georgia, maybe one more, and I don't know about others, but this team now, I think people say don't get excited about the first game. I understand that, and I agree. I'm the originator of the phrase "don't fall in love with the first date." Well, it's time to have the wedding now. It's on. And I think because we saw that not only are they competent, but he lives with his mantra: smart money don't, scared money don't lose money. I'll get it right. Scared money don't make money, and that's what he showed us on that 4th and 2 call right out the bat. Here it is. He went for it, and of course they threw the pass to Montreal, and Bennett, I think he scored, but he was put at the 2, and that's where Anthony stepped out. So now the trajectory of Florida football, and fans are scared. I've been reading them all the way. Oh, we can't see that. I ranked that high. That's terrible. It changes everything. How does it change it, Ben?
I'll never ever get my barometer for what the Florida team can go, based off what the Twitter sphere say or even the narrative says. I think Florida is a team that they're week by week, progression. I do think that Florida could be a 9-10 win ball club because the thing about it is they started off with a valuable foe. a good team, which means I know what I semi know what I have, even though it's only one game. And just don't look down the road. Like, look, you got Kentucky coming to town.
Well, that's what we do. We look down the road. We make these picks. Now, the coaches can't afford to, but we do.
We're doing it. But I think the thing about it is this: every good team takes on the persona and mood and temperament of the head coach. If you've ever met Billy Napier, outside of how about them Gators? I hope the God he ain't a Cowboys fan in real life. I just hope. But if you see him, what you see is what you get with Billy Napier. Look, man, I am not doing no TikToks. I ain't gonna do a whole bunch of dancing. I am a straight, hard-nosed coach that love my players, and I'm gonna love up on them, and I'm gonna give them, that tough love. But I think, look, at the end of the day, nothing, and I know nothing will scare them boys in Athens more if Florida comes in undefeated. Because now it's like, wait a minute. Are these dudes ahead? And I don't like this notion of they're ahead of schedule. Are they? Because can he win with these guys? Yeah, you're supposed to win with the current guys, and then you get your guys in the year after. But I think they can go 9-10 wins. And let me tell people something. 9-10 wins in college football, that is extremely hard to do. I don't care who Alabama got us going crazy. Like, everybody go do it every year. So 9-10 wins is valuable, but you got to get past the Kentucky boys. And like I said, from what I've seen from LSU, what I've seen from Texas A&M, they better be lucky we playing them on the road. That's all I'm gonna say. They better be lucky we get them at their place.
Yeah. What's Lauren doing to call me out on hip hop? I know what Scared Bunny is. Come on, Lauren. Please, give me a break here. So here's the deal. We're gonna walk it through, friends. Now, I'm not getting ahead of myself, but on this show we do this every week. Where they stand now? Where are they going? Billy Napier ain't got to do it. They're all nervous about the team being. Spurrier said in the clip, he's not worried about how to be in rank 12. He thinks Billy will handle it fine. But I ask you guys now. We're not just we're experts on this, friends, right? We do this all the time. And Ben, you're getting to be one too. So I'm gonna walk you through the schedule. Just give me WL, 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 WL. All right, ready? We got one W. Next, Kentucky, WL.
Win.
All right. Next, USF, WL.
Win.
All right, that's 3. Next, at Tennessee, WL.
Win.
Yeah, I give it a win. I got to win it, yes.
All right, so Eastern Washington.
Win.
Weird stuff happens when the Vols play the Gators.
Yeah, all right, we'll see. Missouri.
Win, obviously.
LSU.
Win.
LSU.
Win.
So you guys got them undefeated going into the bye week. You realize that?
Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want you to remember that. You said you don't get ahead of yourself. You said, but you look at on paper what you see. Trust your eyes. You just called it off. All right. All right. Next, they get Georgia.
Hard to pick a win there. It's too far out.
Yeah, I'll probably go a loss there. Better game than people give it credit for,
All
but
right. All right.
I give it to them dogs.
So they're what, 7-1 now? Whatever. Okay, so now the next week at Texas A&M.
On paper right now, everybody's going to give that to Texas A&M.
But today, what do you give?
Right now, I would say probably a loss just based on things I haven't
That's
seen.
all you have to say.
The Aggies got to play Miami, Arkansas,
all right. You ain't got to explain.
Alabama, and Ole Miss.
I don't need to hear all that. I know. I understand. You're right, Ben.
I'll go a loss too.
All right, so both of you got 2 L's, both of you, right? Let's finish it up real fast. All right. South Carolina.
Win.
At Vanderbilt.
Win.
Florida State.
Good game, but I got to win.
Boys, you just picked this team to go 10-2. All right? When you talk about it and you put it down in front of you and you do it week by week, it's a little bit scary. You picked them to be 10-2. That's what the tea leaves say right now. But anyway, I just want to make sure that we did that tonight. Good job as always by both of you, Francis. Nice to talk to you again, my friend. And also, we wish our friend Bob Redmond the best. Hope he gets recovery pretty fast and gets back. We were going to try to have him on tonight, but he wasn't able to do that. And Mr. Ben, how's the podcast going?
Podcast is going well. Really, really appreciate my producer Ryan. I mean, being able to interview Track. Did PJ, PJ Tucker out of Los Angeles, Compton to be exact. So we've done everything now. We haven't done swimming yet. Haven't done golf. Haven't done tennis. I wanted to get old Ben Shelton before he went
He
went
gone.
pro.
He gone.
Yeah, I know. But it's been really really fun. Oh, got a big time guest coming up in a couple of weeks. Part of them 95, 96 Gators. So we paying homage to the forefathers that built this thing. So but having fun with it. But I gotta say this, buddy, because I got you on. I don't know if you've been watching baseball, but them Braves.
Hey! Don't talk to me. Have you been watching the Rays?
Who was that?
Yeah, I look. They cleaned the clock of the New York Yankees. I'll tell you that. And Boston Red Sox. Don't talk smack baseball to me.
We talking about the Braves that ran down the
Mets. Yeah. You'll see.
10.5 games. No,
they
are the Mets.
Nobody.
They are the Mets. They are the little brother in New York. You are a little brother.
Well, listen, I'm just telling you, this team, and by the way, the Rays have been doing it with 3 of their best players hurt. We're just getting them back. Wander Franco may be coming back now, huh?
Just for the listeners, the original America's team is the Braves.
Hey,
Bookie,
Ben,
no,
I'm getting sick of my stomach here. If you had your 3 best players out hitters, what would your record be?
Well, this is the thing. Okay, check this out. Hold on for a second.
Come on, give me an answer, Ben. Come on.
Hold on. If the Rays was in the World Series, that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna. And they didn't have their best player. Do you think they win the World Series if they didn't have their best player?
Maybe.
Because the Braves didn't have the Braves.
I know what the Braves did. Okay, I'll give him that. But let's talk about this year.
By
the way, who was there from the American League?
Rays was the team. Did you root for the Braves before the Rays were a team? Did you root for the Braves?
No, I actually didn't. I was always a Cardinal fan. I lived in New York, and I liked the Yankees and Mets. And then we didn't have baseball in Colorado, but no, I wasn't a Braves fan. No, last time I was a Braves fan was Hank Aaron was playing.
Why don't they call them the St. Pete Rays? Because they in St. Pete.
No, and not. See, you're starting to talk trash now, man. Don't even do that now. How about the Boston Braves? How about the Boston Braves? Huh? They were the Boston. How about the Milwaukee Braves? Right? Okay.
Hank Aaron. Tom Glavine, John Smoltz.
I will say I love Hank Aaron, and I was lucky enough to be able to be one night in the locker room. I followed his whole home run deal. I was like, had 15 games one year and 10 the next. Followed him until he hit his record-breaking home run. But there are a couple of times in the locker room when I got just him. And friends, you don't get that anymore. And you don't get the one-on-ones because it's all orchestra. And you got a chance to have a real conversation with Hank Aaron. Talk about his life. Talk about how he one time thought he had colon cancer. All the hate mail he got. I mean, I thought he was one of the classiest guys I ever met. I loved Hank Aaron. He'll always be my home run champion, by the way.
I was the sports editor in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. We had an American Legion team here that won the state championship, almost goes to the Legion World Series. Manager of that team was Al Denson, who was a second baseman in the Braves organization. And Hank Aaron had just come over from the Indianapolis Clowns in the Negro League. And they're training in Waycross, of all places, back then. That's where the Braves minor league camp was. And Al says that first day, Al's in Double-A, and they started Hank Aaron at the Double-A level. He ended up going straight to the majors, but they started him in the Double-A level, and line drive, Al says, I leaps for the ball, and he says, I miss it by this much. Al's playing second base. He says the ball ends up clearing at the 375 sign, and he says like a golf shot, it just kept going up and up and up and up. And he said right then, he says, as Hank Aaron comes rounding first base and going by second, Al says, I look at him and I said, nice to know you. You're going to be in the big league camp tomorrow. And he said, sure enough, he was.
How about that? Yeah. All right, guys, we could tell stories a long time tonight. We're on baseball. It's a whole other world of stories. But anyway, we'll see what happens. And Nice job by both of you tonight, guys. Thanks a lot, Franz. Thanks a lot, Ben. I'll tell the world about Red Star Medical Research, one of my fine group sponsors, and we'll say goodnight to you guys. All right, thanks very much, both of you.
Yes, sir.
Ben Troop, Franz Beard, two of the best right here on the program. Always glad to have them on the show. Thank you for that. They always come prepared to talk, and hope you enjoyed it. We're going to talk a little bit about our sponsor, our friends at Red Star Medical Research who make this possible, and who have been supporting this program in their hometown for a long time. And they're doing superb medical research. You don't realize this has to be done by somebody. It's not like they can do their own research in some of these companies. So they do a terrific studies over there, everything from Alzheimer's to psoriasis to some things you never heard of. And they're doing it like migraines. We talked about that last month. If you ever had a migraine, you know how bad that hurts. And there really is no cure for it. So, but they're going to keep looking and try to find something. So they're going to they're doing they've been doing studies over there on migraines, which now that's over, and to be a part of it, you got to be at least 18. Be a frequent migraine sufferer. You got to see a medical staff or a doctor at no cost, no insurance. You'd have investigational migraine medication, which that's the key. You get this stuff, nobody else gets it, and you can receive compensation for your time of travel. No insurance required. So if you want to know what other studies they got, they've been doing it for a long time, go to their website, rentstar.net, look there, or you can call them on the phone and ask them about what's going on. The last one I heard they were doing was psoriasis. If you've had a problem with the plaque psoriasis, ask about their study group and then clinical studies. And so call them at 352-629-5800 or go to rentstar.net and find out about Rentstar Medical Research, seeking tomorrow's answers for the health questions of today. We're seeking tomorrow's answers for the Florida-Tennessee game. We'll be there on Saturday night. Tune it in. And by the way, support Gator Bait. Those guys work hard, and we're glad to be able to bring it to you. Have a great night. Thanks to friends, and thanks to Ben, and thanks to you. Good night.